Julie Davison and Susan LaCroix. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. This is our weekly video series to share Stampin' Up! Projects. We're mother-daughter demonstrators who've been Stampin' Up! Demonstrators for 20 years this year. I can hardly believe that. So crazy. And this is our weekly video series to share projects with you every week on Zoom. We live in Michigan and Illinois, so we don't get to stamp in person together, but it has been so much fun to stamp together every week. It has been a very busy week, Mom, with the launch of the new catalog. How are you doing?
I'm wow. I am when this airs, I'll be in Chicago with Dad for his University of Chicago reunion, but Hostess Club and the new catalog and all the other things to get ready for this little weekend jaunt away, because it's never simple. So yeah, it's been really, really busy. How about you?
Oh, exactly. It's been very, very busy. The kids always have a million activities, a band concert and softball games and, you know, all the other craziness. And then the catalog launch, getting ready for product shares. So it's not too late to get in on that. Mom and I are both offering the same product shares and we're still taking orders. So if you haven't gotten your order in, it's not too late. So you can check the video description for all the details about how you can sign up to sample a little bit of everything from the new catalog. So I'm starting to get those ready and lots of new orders from the catalog. Everyone is so excited about all the new stuff. And so today we don't have anything like brand new to share because we had to film this ahead of time. But this was something that we were able to pre-order, and I really love the suite that we're going to share today.
Oh,
so
yeah, I do too.
Should we kick it over the table and show everybody what we're working with?
Let's show them. And I am so excited because guess what?
What?
Well, it's not chicken butt, which is what used to be, but I can open it up because the catalog is live. So here we go.
Oh my goodness. I think we're supposed to say officially, these are inside pages of the 2022 to 2023 Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog.
Okay, thank you for the legal stuff. Get it out of the way. So the name of this suite is the Hues of Happiness, and it does make me happy. And I think it's mine a little while. So here's the stamp image, and it has dies and this wonderful designer series paper. I've been having so much fun playing with it, and I still have a few ideas rolling around up in my head to do that. But let's take a look at them. So I'm going to put this down over here. So here is the stamp set. Happiness Abounds. I love the script. We've had other greetings over the years, many years ago with that, like the tails at the front. Love it.
Oh yeah.
And there's 4 like rose blooms, I think they are. And then there's a couple little small bunches, which I love that. And some leaves. And then the dies that coordinate with it. So the dies cut out all the flowers and the leaves and that little bunch, the 2 little bunches. Plus, it's got this fun little trellis. Julie, are you showing this today?
I am going to use it. I've already die cut it, but yeah, it's a fun die.
It is a fun. I dyed it out. It's like, oh, what can I do with this now? So that's one of the ideas rolling around. And then there's these 2 fun little edges. And I'm using this edge today. And I thought these were just embossing edges. They're not. There's a cutting line on both of these, so it's going to cut it. So I'll give you some little tips when I show you my card. So those are the dies. Well, let's move these out of the way. And then look at this paper. Oh, it is just beautiful. And what's fun about this one, and let's see if I can turn this right. I cut this down to 6 by 6. It's 12 by 12. But this is, you can see how the colors change. So the whole 12 by 12 sheet is like this. But I wanted to show you what it looks like, because out of the 6 by 6, you'd never know that all these colors are in there.
Yeah.
So that's that one. And then look at this one. Ooh, love it.
So pretty. And I feel like a lot of the sheets do that, where the colors kind of like
another one.
Yeah.
All the way across at 12 by 12. So that's that way. Yeah, you're right, Julie. A lot of the sheets are like that. And there's this one.
I love the navy background on that. Like it's not black, it's not really dark, but I think navy still has the really great contrast without being so stark.
Yep. And here's another one where it's gonna be, the colors are gonna be, I don't think I brought that one. I guess not. So there's this guy. Oh, this might be a, oh, yeah, I got some doubles. Let's just get that out of the way. And these. So there's like a sheet with the blues and the greens and a sheet with the pinks and the yellows. And that's like this. That's why I have all these here. So you can just see they're just absolutely stunning. And the B side's really kind of fun too. It's just like painted.
Yeah, like the brush stroke. So beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And in all different colors that coordinate with the front side. So I'm excited about this paper.
Yes, and I love that paper, like the last few patterns that you showed on the A side, they coordinate with the dies.
Yes, they do. And I'll show you in just a second. So and this is the other B side. Isn't that fun?
Again, that navy, it's so pretty.
Yeah. So that's the designer series paper for this set. And then rounding it out are these fun glossy dots with some of the colors.
I love
and what I like about these is they are flat. I mean, they're not completely flat, but they're not raised up. So there shouldn't be any problems with mailing them. So Julie, you mentioned that the dies cut out the designer series paper. I just took a whole sheet and I just die cut a bunch of flowers to use.
I love it. And then you have the convenience of just being able to grab the flowers and use them as you want. I did that a little bit. I don't think I did a whole sheet and I don't have quite the stash that you do, but it's so easy. One of the cards I'm going to share today is perfect because you can just grab from your die cut flowers like that.
Yeah. So I am ready to turn it over to you. So you can show us your projects. I can't wait to see them.
All right, let's replace the screen there. So one of my favorite things, I always love talking about this, the Hues of Happiness Suite is the cover girl for our annual catalog. So you'll see it right here on the cover. In fact, I cased that project, I copied it, and I used the little border die that you were talking about. I used the other one that looks like spiral paper. And I used die cut flowers right from the paper, just like you were talking about, little stamped here in the background. So I changed the colors on this one and used some of the purple and blue paper, but you could just go crazy and make a bunch of cards and make them all a little bit different. Well, today's card that I'm going to share with you, I made two versions. I have a version that's already put together, and I used some die cuts from the designer paper, but for the card I'm going to show you today, I stamped and used my Stampin' Blends to color. And so I just wanted to show you how you can use the same dies with the stamp images and the designer paper. So
I'm so glad you did that because I didn't stamp any flowers and I thought, oh man, so I'm glad you showed this how to, the stamp, because they're beautiful.
I have to say, like, it was, I've made myself do it because it's so easy just to die cut, the flowers, and have them and use them. And I don't love to color. So the designer paper is very appealing for me because I don't have to color. But if you love to color, you have the option of doing that, of stamping and coloring and die cutting. So I love that it's really versatile and you can use it both ways. So I'm going to show you both the same exact card. One is stamped images and one is designer paper, and you guys can decide which of the two that you like. So let's start with some measurements. I'm using fresh Freesia for my card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored in half at 4 1/4. I really love this color combination, and I just took it right from the designer paper, which my designer paper piece is 2.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And we'll have all the measurements in the video description for you. Now, I don't know that we listed all the colors in this paper, but there are so many. Oh. Like it might be even easier to list the colors that aren't in this paper because it includes so many different shades and variations, right? We've got fresh freesia and gorgeous grape and pool party and some of the blushing bride and probably a little polished pink melon mambo in there, like even mango melody, so saffron, like it's technically granny apple green, but there's really some garden green and like it, you know, just so many shades. So we've got our designer paper there. Our next piece is two pieces that are the same size, 2.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So there's just two of these. One of them I used that die on, and this is about the size of the die. Let me get that out. I did it ahead of time so I wouldn't have to fuss with it. But here is the die. So you can see it's about the same size as the piece of cardstock, which again was 2.5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So I just wanted to use this awesome texture. And you were starting to say, Mom, that the die cuts out some of the pieces, but then other pieces you can see stay in there, and they're meant to be, let me see if I can get like a little needle. I should have had that ready ahead of time. So you can kind of like poke them and sort of have them be like elevated and create like some texture. There's another really fun die that is new in the catalog that does the same thing. So it's not intended to cut out every little piece of it, but I just love that texture. Now it does have quite a few holes, and so I thought it was a little busy to put it against the designer paper. So I just decided to do the white against the white. So you're still getting the pattern of that sort of lacy lattice, but without the distraction of the designer paper behind it. So I'm going to glue those pieces together using Mom's favorite, some liquid glue. Just kind of going around the border here and getting those edges. Maybe a little on those inside pieces. And then this is going to just glue and layer together. I did think about using some mini Stampin' Dimensionals here, but I wanted to just kind of keep it subtle. And I think it really does the trick, really subtle. So this is going to go on with Stampin' Dimensionals. And like I said, I did stamp in color ahead of time using the Memento ink pad and the Stampin' Blends. I used the Fresh Freesia, Pool Party, and Daffodil Delight light and dark markers to color the 3 different flowers and die cut them with the coordinating dies. So I'm going to add that lattice down kind of at an angle. And then next up, I'm going to use some regular adhesive to put down these die cut images and arrange them on the card. I'm going to have the blue on the top and then add some of those leaves in there.
Very pretty, very nice.
I've got a greeting piece and an accent piece. The greeting is going to go on the blue piece, which is 3/4 by 2.5. And the yellow or so saffron is 1/2 inch by 3.5 inches. And the yellow or the so saffron is just going to be an accent piece. And then I'm going to add the sentiment on there with the pool party. So again, I just took this color combination right from the designer paper. I always love turning to designer paper for color inspiration because they've already done all the hard work of, you know, figuring out which colors go together and match up. So this is going to go on with some more Stampin' Dimensionals.
Love it.
I thought you might. The one thing I didn't put on this card is bling. I know. I can add some. I did add a bow, so let's put that on there. So I kind of struggle with the dots for this suite because they're so dark, and I wanted to use colors that were a little bit lighter. So sometimes I feel like those really bright enamel dots are a little too much. What do you think?
Well, I was just thinking that the darker purple or gorgeous grape kind of ones, that might work. Just
Well,
because it's not as bright.
yeah, let's get it out. We can see what we think. I found this roll of glue dots, and I think it's the old kind that have it on the roll. So it's throwing me off because now I've gotten used to it the other way. So definitely the using the Stampin' Blends is a lot brighter of a color scheme. Here's the version with the designer paper, and you can see that
Ooh.
it's a little bit more muted. Oh, I just realized I forgot to turn on my extra light so you can see. All right, I'm gonna reach for those enamel dots, but just like right now, which of those do you prefer? Do you like the more subtle designer paper?
Wow, that's a tough one because the one with the designer paper flowers kind of melts in or blends in with the designer series paper, but the stamped ones they really kind of pop out. So
I am suddenly having a thought, Mom, and if you'll bear with me for a second, I'm going to grab out a piece because I was just noticing the same thing. Like it is very kind of muted, and so I thought for a second here, what if we stamp on the designer paper and make those kind of stick out a little bit? So let's do a quick experiment. I'm going to get out basic gray, which is just a little bit softer than the Memento Black. These are photopolymer stamps, so I can see exactly where I'm stamping.
oh, Julie.
Oh, let's do this one next. I didn't even think about this, but I love how then this adds a little bit of detail.
Oh my.
Look at that. You can, so there's the one that is stamped on and there's the one that's not. So it's really subtle.
Oh.
But if you like that, you know, extra detail, then you can just stamp, right? And if this is too dark, you can even use like the gorgeous grape or rich raspberry or even the fresh freesia to stamp an outline so that it's more subtle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Julie.
oh.
Good big question. Bling or no bling?
All right, so I grabbed out those glossy dots, and the blue really is very subtle, and I feel like I lean towards that one. Don't you think the other ones are a little dark for this card?
Well, I think the yellow and the pink definitely are. But yes, if you're going for that soft muted look, then I would stick with the blue dots.
Okay, where would you put them?
Oh,
put one down here.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, I would go with more little. There you go.
Would you add 3 or just do the one in the corner? I kind of just like the one in the corner.
That would work too. I like them all, but you know, I like bling. So, so the one would work just fine. Just
or smaller ones and doing multiples.
That works too. But you need a third one.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh my goodness. Well, 1 is an odd number, so
yeah,
I think that's just sort of like a nice little punctuation
of
color and of bling. Okay, so did you decide which one you liked better?
It's so hard. Oh man, Jay. I'm leaning towards the designer series paper, but I really like how those look stamped too. Kind of pops them up
towards the stamped in color.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
It's so hard. I'm looking at this now and I'm feeling like, gosh, I really covered up this like die cut background a little too much. I feel like maybe I need to squish them together more so you can see the that lattice. Like it's just so gorgeous. So I might have to, there we go, be a little more careful about covering that up. Okay, well, that's my card. I do have some other samples to share with you. So I'm going to show those to you really quick before we flip it over to you, Mom. Now, like I said, I did cut a bunch of those flowers. And so here's another card that I made with the die cut flowers and designer paper. I just love the sentiments in this set. So gorgeous. I also participated in a couple swaps. So I got some really great samples. This one is from Celine Kempton.
Pretty.
This one is from Karen Titus.
Nice.
With the fern embossing folder in the background. This next one, those no name. Let me see really quick if there's one inside. This one is from Julie Salva. This one from Jody Reiner. I think she just took the ink pad and kind of did a swipe across the card.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was kind of a fun background. And then she stamped and colored the flowers. And lastly, I've got this one from Marnie Stahl.
Very pretty.
Oh my gosh. Like you said, these colors in this suite are just so amazing. And the designer paper is gorgeous. I cannot wait to see what you've created, Mom. Are you ready to share?
I am ready to share. All right. So I am using Night of Navy as my card base. And then, so that's 8.5 by 11, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of Granny Apple Green, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then a piece of designer series paper, which is 3 3/4 by 5. And then I have a piece of basic white. So finished, it is 3 3/4 by 5. And before the die cut, so I'm going to bring this little die out again. Like I said, there's this cutting line, so it cuts. And I mean, I played with it for quite a while. So, so I cut a piece of 3 3/4. I actually went 5 1/2, so that once I got that done, I could just trim off the other side to get it to 5. So that was how I did this piece. All right. So what I decided to do with this is, well, let me do this. Let me get Granny Apple Green mat on here. And what I'm going to do is, and you can actually make 2 cards out of this, because I'm going to cut the designer series paper on a diagonal. So this will go on here. I'm going to bring out my paper trimmer. And I also die cut the greeting. You are wonderful in every way, with that great beveled edge on this. And I have a piece of 2 3/4 by 1 3/4 Granny Apple Green to go behind it. Okay, so I want to just make this a triangle. And so I'm just lining up corner to corner in my cutting track.
Does it matter which corner?
No, I don't think so. I never thought about that, but I don't think it does. And I'll show you why. All right, let me see. Right in there. And sometimes I find, and Jay, I don't know if you do, I'm going to actually start my cut on it, because sometimes I have the blade doesn't like to get going here. And if I start in the middle, then I can get my 2 pieces. All right, so I'm going to do this one, I think. Now look, am I going to
oh no!
I did kind of, oh, it does matter, I guess, huh?
It'll still work though, right?
Sure.
Can you just change the orientation of your card?
Yeah. Oh, no, not a problem. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to change the orientation. No worries. All right. So I'm going to glue this white piece down on here. Oh, I have a little Chad hanging here. And I don't want to tear the paper, so I'm just going to take a pair of snips and try to snip the chads off. Okay. I have some other cards finished that I'm going to show you. That was the way I intended it to be.
Oh. I just peeled off my flowers to stamp the outlines on the designer paper.
I
I don't know if I like it.
You don't know if you like it?
Well, it's not as soft as it was. So I'll show you when we're done. You can see what you think.
I guess it depends on the look you're going for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I just didn't stamp straight.
All right, so there we go. And then I'm going to put this is a pretty easy card too. I mean, I think this paper makes it so easy to make quick cards. I just wanted this backed on something, so I picked the Granny Apple Green just to kind of, so I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals.
I think it looks good just like this. So I'm trying to remember like what your other card looked like and how it was different.
I'll show you. No worries. What's that song? Don't worry. And I also, my motto is there are no mistakes in Stampin' Up. There are only opportunities.
That's right.
Everything is fixable. Wasn't that one of our stamps? Everything is fixable.
Yeah, what was that stamp? Was it everything is figure outable or something?
Oh, maybe that was it. Everything is figure outable. All right, so there we go. And of course, where's my flame? Because I'm bringing that out.
I love that you just let the designer paper be the star of the show because that paper is so gorgeous.
It really is. All right, so I'm going to put, let's see, what do I want here? There's some bright yellow in here. So let's grab one of these bad boys. Yeah, let's put it down here. And there's some nice pink in there. Let's do a pink up here. And then next to it, let's put, there's a little bit of blue. Let's give the blue some love. No, let's put it down here. All right, so there is the card. Finished. Now let me show you how it was intended. So there we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, like it's just flipped. You originally had the paper on the the bottom. So I feel like you could make that card vertical too. Like you could just rotate it and rotate the sentiment. Like
you absolutely could. And maybe I should have done that just to show you that would be different. I could still do it, couldn't I? Let's do this one. Watch me tear it up. It's tearing. All right. We'll see. Get this off without tearing it.
It's all about the right pressure as you pull off.
Yeah. Gotta take your time. Can't rush it. There we go. I do have a little tear here. Let me see if I can cover that. And I have a tear over here.
Oh.
No, that's okay. Oh, no, I just tore that. All right, well, here's how we'll fix that. Ignore that. Oh. All right, so let's see. Let's grab another pink. Throw that over here. Cover that guy up.
Bling is always the answer to fix anything.
So what? You are so right. And let's give another, let's see, let's do a blue. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of buddy this up with this guy. Well, no, where's my thing? Yep. Oh. Get over here. So yeah, we're just gonna buddy that up. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Odd number, right? Now, so here's my this or that. I couldn't decide if I wanted the card base to be Granny Apple Green with a Night of Navy matte, or Night of Navy card base with the Granny Apple Green matte.
Oh, that's tough.
So it's so similar and the changes are so subtle. So
Yeah,
so leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Night of Navy or Granny Apple Green is the card base.
I kind of like the note paper border being on the navy layer because I think it makes it pop a little more.
Yeah.
Which would be the bottom one.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But I mean, it's the same thing.
You
could go either way.
You could go either way. Yep. All right, so let me show you, or you could make this landscape or portrait. Your call. So a week or so ago, Julie showed on her Thursday night stamping therapy a tent card. And I really liked that. So since I had all this out, I made a tent card as a Granny Apple Green card base. And another sheet of it's the same sheet.
I just love that.
Yeah. And so then I used some of my flowers. I grabbed them out of my little basket and popped the leaves and this blue flower up. Used the postage stamp for wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. And then I just put some designer series paper and a piece of basic white on the back. So this was a club project. I loved it. So yeah, and I used the largest of the new circles. Oh man, I love
stylish shapes.
Stylish shapes. I used the largest circle. So yeah, I almost thought, no. Let's see something. Oh, come on now. What about if there was one kind of popped up from here? From the back? No. I don't like it. Never mind.
I think the dark flower blends in with the dark background a lot.
Yep. Yep.
But you could go with like a pop of that red or pink or whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the other card that I did, just an explosion of flowers.
Ooh.
So basic white, and then I just layered a bunch of the flowers. Some I popped up, some are flat on there, and then I used some gems. And what the look I was going for, and I think I need one more little flower right here, was like sending a bouquet of flowers to somebody. So happy birthday, friend, kind of tucked in at a little bit of an angle to make it look like a card in the flowers.
Oh, I love that. And I love how colorful all those cut flowers are. It's so beautiful. Yeah. I would love to get a bouquet like that.
Oh, maybe you will.
That wasn't a hint. I was just saying, like, oh, it definitely looks like yeah, like you said, a little card tucked in the flowers.
Yeah, do you think it needs one more flower right there?
Right where? Where's there room for another flower? Oh,
there's a little bit of white space.
I mean, I think you could go either way. Take it off a second.
Bam.
I think I like it with it on there.
With it on.
Yeah, I feel like it just like props that card up a little bit more. It just looks a little fuller.
Yep, exactly. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, well. I had it in here where I liked it. Now I can't see that.
You,
There we go.
it was perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah. Just like that. Oh,
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. So those were my projects so far with the Hues of Happiness. We may
I
have
know.
to
I feel like we're
revisit
just
this.
getting started. I know I'm going to be using this one and reaching for it so much.
Yep. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Look at the some cards.
Yeah.
So this is the one, Mom. I took the designer paper and I stamped on it.
Okay, I
And
like it.
then put it back on the card. And I think it just kind of makes the flowers stand out a little more. What do you think?
I do. I agree. I think that's very pretty. Very pretty.
Oh, so gorgeous. I love
Yeah.
Stampin' Up products. Just make it so easy and like effortless to make beautiful cards. You don't have to be an artist, right? To die cut from the
Yeah.
designer paper and stamp a layer over the top and make it look beautiful. Or if you feel like being an artist, you can use the Stampin' Blends and, color in and do your own thing. This would be really pretty to do the lineless watercoloring with too. Have you tried
Ooh,
that technique?
yeah. Oh, it's been a long time, but yeah. Last week you talked about, if you don't have the stamp or you don't have the dies, how much you could do. I mean, you could fussy cut these flowers for
Yep.
sure. So if you just like the paper, you can always get the paper and start playing around with it. And
Yeah.
I'm betting pretty soon you're going to get the dies. But I mean, you could do that if you are, trying to figure out what it is you actually want. But this is gorgeous. And if you get the sampler, you'll get some of these and you can play.
That's
Right?
what I love about the product share is that you get a little bit of the paper so you can play around and see what you think of it. And also, just use the new paper to kind of freshen up the stamps and things that you have already at home, because we all have, right? Huge stamp collections already. And sometimes it does feel like we're just doing the same designs over and over again. So it's great if you have something similar and you can just freshen that up with some new designer paper. And if you don't have anything like this, then you can get the whole shebang, the whole suite.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Wow, this was a fun week.
It was. I can't wait to really dig into this new catalog and play with some new products. So leave us a comment and let us know, what would you like to see? Is there a suite or a bundle, designer paper, maybe a new die that you'd like to see in action? Leave a comment and let us know so we know what you would like to see in a future episode of Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. And we have a little anniversary coming up very soon. It will be our first anniversary of Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. So we need to come up with some fun idea to celebrate our 1 year episode. So leave a comment if you have any ideas.
Yeah. Maybe combine it with celebrating our 20 years or something.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Well, you are going to be here almost pretty close. Maybe we can film that 1 year episode together when you're here in a couple weeks. So I feel like I can hear the gears turning in our heads.
Exactly. Mine are a little creaky right now. I need a little oil up there, but
Oh, well, let's say goodbye for now.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching us. We just love doing this and we love sharing with you.
I know. I feel like we could talk all day, like if we didn't stop ourselves.
We have to stop ourselves. So anyway, until next Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie, have a wonderful week. We love you.
Bye.
Bye, Jay. Love you.
Love you too.